Oklahoma City Thunder could be trading away a plethora of draft picks to the New Orleans Pelicans during the offseason ahead of this year's draft, as New Orleans is trying to build up a good amount of second-round picks for the future, while Oklahoma City has the most in the entire league for second-round picks and potentially even first-round picks. So this makes them a perfect suitor for the New Orleans Pelicans. But before we get all this, though, I want to take a moment and say if you guys enjoy the content and you find yourself coming back on a regular basis, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel, and it's the best way to stay up to date on your Oklahoma City Thunder news here on Thunder Digest. With that out of the way, we can go ahead and get into the video and talk about what I mean we could potentially be trading away these draft picks, these second rounders, by the way, where, majority of the time they don't turn into anything. However, you do get these diamonds in the roughs from time to time, such as Nikola Jokic. He's the most notable one as of late, as he was drafted during the infamous Taco Bell commercial, if you guys remember that. But as you can see here, the Pelicans could trade the number 21 overall pick for future second-round picks per C. Clark 13. There, it's on NBA Sports. You can go ahead, go to that article, go to that tweet if you want. I can also link it in the description or comment section as well if you guys are interested in seeing that. But the New Orleans doesn't own any second-round draft capital until 2030 due to salary dumping Devontae Graham's contract in 2023. So as you can see there, it just makes perfect sense for the Oklahoma City Thunder to go after this, as we have a ton of second-round draft picks. When being honest, probably aren't going to use them anyways. They'll probably end up trading them away. And it kind of fits into the situation where the Thunder have promised Daron Holmes II that we are going to draft him this year. And it just doesn't make sense to me because no one really has him as a lottery guy. He's not this guy that's going to find his way into the top 14 or by any means. Maybe not even the top 20 with his skill set and what he brings to the league. And there is a lot that he does bring. However, there are a ton of downsides as well. So it never really made sense to me why we would take him at the 12th overall pick. However, if we had the 21st overall pick, I think it's perfect to take Daron Holmes there then and promise him that we are going to draft him. And we can still use that 12th pick to go get a guy like Cody Williams or some of these other guys that we're interested in the lottery, even Saloon, Da Silva, some of those guys that have been moving their ways up. And also it allows us to kind of play with our options as well, the 21st pick, and say, let's say Holmes doesn't fall to us at all. Maybe, there's another guy there that falls, Filipowski from Duke. I hope I said his name right there. It's a lot to take in. Or even Zach Edey. I know he's very, mixed emotions about that as well. I think it'd be perfect, like I said in the last video, to take him in a later spot. But here's some of the strengths and weaknesses that they had to say about Daron Holmes II as well in his little scout profile. Demonstrates offensive versatility, scoring in the post, and as a lob threat, proficiency from behind the arc, converting 38.7% of three-point attempts. Switchable defender with a long wingspan, high motor defensively, excels as a rebounder and shot blocker, effective passer out of short rolls and in pick-and-pop situations, improving on the glass, showing potential to contribute effectively in rebounding. So as you can see there, solid player, all right? He's kind of reminding me, if I'm going to be honest, when I watch his game, how he plays, looking at the scouting reports as well, seeing what everyone's saying about him, he kind of has this Blake Griffin stereotype and archetype to his build. That's the best thing I can kind of see with him, as he's just this high flyer dunker who is going to dominate down low in the paint and compete with anyone else jumping wise and getting to the rim. However, there can be some questions about his shooting from time to time. Sure, he is a 38.7% shooter. I don't think he's necessarily known as a shooter, though. I don't think he would be if he was on this OKC squad. He'd be this guy battling down low for lobs and offensive boards for putbacks. That's what we'd be doing. And then defensively, a rim protector just to help us down there in the paint and also to help us rebound-wise. That's what he would be bringing to this table. Not really a spot-up shooter by any means. And they kind of talk about that as well in his little weaknesses here, as this is what they had to say. And there's a few things that kind of stand out to me. Limited experience against top competition, passing concerns about adjusting to NBA pace, or raising concerns about adjusting to NBA pace. Sorry, I can't read. Occasionally telegraphs passes and struggles with ball control, leading to turnovers, questions about sustainability of shooting improvement. So there it goes in that little part I was talking about how I don't necessarily see him as a shooter. It kind of talks about that right there, as they're not sure he can sustain shooting improvement in the league. Slightly undersized for a big man role in the NBA. I have a little bit of thoughts about that. And certainty about handling switches defensively at the NBA level. So pretty common stuff that you do see from draft prospects every single year, just being honest. These are things that we see every single year that people talk about with all these draft prospects and guys going in, hoping to get drafted by their favorite team or somewhere they know they can have instant success and impact at. It's always that concern of, can they acclimate to the NBA style of pace? You see that with everyone. They're worried that they can't acclimate to the style of play of basketball here in the league. He might be a little bit undersized. There are a bunch of guys that break those kind of molds and barriers that are already placed on them before they even get drafted, such as the pace and size that was just brought up. I don't think the size is an issue when you look at his, not just his height. He's 6'10". His scouting profile had him at 6'10". And then when you look at ESPN as well, what they have him listed at, he's huge. He is huge. 6'9", 235 pounds. He can fly as well. He's really 6'10", 235, 240 pounds. He can fly. And he also has decent stats when you look at it. 20 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 54% from the field as well. And let me tell you guys right now, you need to watch his highlights because he is a highlight reel in whatever he does. Rim protecting with his blocking ability and rebounding ability as well. He fights for boards. Then offensively, he is dunking on everyone. His jumping and leaping ability is off the charts. It is insane. Like I mentioned, he kind of has this Blake Griffin archetype to him where he's going to go up there and get any lob that's tossed to him and throw it down. He's going to out-jump anyone in the gym and just grab boards all day long. He's going to be this guy that you can rely on to go and be physical and aggressive on the offensive, defensive side, down low in the paint, which I kind of like about him. It's just the questions of he did play in a relatively weaker conference this year in the NCAA with Dayton. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, is he really playing against good competition? Or is he playing against bad competition? And that's why his stats are so good. That's why he looks so good on paper and highlights. That's kind of the worries and concern. That's where it rises and be like, that's where, I'm there. I'm like, I don't think he should be a lottery pick then. But with this whole OKC New Orleans scenario going on right now, where it kind of makes perfect sense for OKC to go trade with New Orleans to go get the 21st overall pick and then take Daron Holmes II there. Because the latest mock draft that I saw, and this one was from Hoops Hype, this is the latest one I saw come out, they had Daron Holmes II going 28th overall. They have him falling that low in the draft because of all these concerns about, does he really have the play style to adapt to the NBA? Is he really playing against good competition at the college level? It's just all these concerns, and also can he be a reliable shooter when he goes to the NBA level? And those are all a bunch of questions that we can constantly speculate and have our differences on. No one's going to know that until they actually come and compete in the league, where you can kind of see that, because you see these with all types of guys coming in from these blue blood schools be like, they're playing against great competition, they can instantly transition to the league. You see it all the time. They happen to be bust. Sometimes you get some very good players from schools that didn't really have competition. Sometimes you see that, and Daron Holmes II could be the same situation going on right now. However, he's a good player. I think what we should do is go and pursue that 21st overall pick. Give him like 3 or 4 second rounders. Give them 3 or 4 second rounders. They really want that much kind of insurance in the future. That way they can rely on the second round picks to kind of help them out there a little bit. Go ahead, give up 4 for them, get that 21st overall pick here in this year's draft. We're probably not going to use those second rounders anyways. Use it and get Holmes II and fulfill that promise we made to him of trying to take him. For sure. And even if he doesn't fall to us, there are going to be options at the 21st overall pick that can kind of fill in that role he would have brought to the team as well. And it allows us with the 12th overall pick to actually take someone that can have instant impact and success on this team and not be this kind of project and kind of you're on the fence about and see, maybe he will pan out, maybe he won't. We kind of don't need that at the moment. I feel like we can rely on that with the 21st pick instead of using our lottery pick on him. But that's kind of what I have about this whole situation. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys think we should give up all these second round picks, I don't know why we wouldn't. It just doesn't make sense to hold on to all these. So makes sense to go ahead and go get that pick. But let me know in the comments why you guys don't think it would be a smart idea to give them all up just for that 21st pick. And do you guys think Daron Holmes II is a lottery pick? Because personally, I don't really see it. So go ahead and enlighten me in the comment section and let me know why he would be a lottery pick. And I'll see you guys in the next video.